Not to get personal, but how fast is your internet? It's probably a question you don't necessarily need to know the answer to unless you can't do something online, right? And you're like, I'm trying to join the video conference. And while for most of us a glitch with a Zoom or a Skype probably lasts a few seconds, for people in other parts of the country, the inability to connect virtually is much more frequent. Tonight, Fox 4's Joe St. George with an in-depth look at broadband and how for some Americans, the proposed infrastructure bill could finally get them online.
Well, I don't really like school because I'd much rather work.
14-year-old Ruben Neppert may share your child's views of school as we approach the end of another school year. This eighth grader already excited to use his unique auctioneering skills this summer. But before Ruben makes the leap to high school, it's important to reflect on what he went through this past school year, particularly when it comes to accessing the internet.
I cannot do anything online. It just doesn't connect.
You see, Ruben lives in Fulton County, Pennsylvania, population 14,000, and while the views are great, the internet is not. The federal government currently defines 25 megabits per second as an acceptable internet speed in Fulton County. According to the independent research group Broadband Now, only 47% have access to that. The majority here may be able to buy internet, but it's not that great. Ruben's family doesn't have it because their home is too far from town. As a result, he's forced to come to a school parking lot to do his homework most nights. Wi-Fi is at least reliable here.
Normally, I just spend hours and hours just here at school doing it.
What's happening here with the internet is being replicated in small towns all across the country, and Washington knows it, which is why broadband reform is a major component of the president's infrastructure bill.
We're going to talk a lot about infrastructure today.
The president meeting with congressional leaders Wednesday to continue his push. President Biden wants $100 billion for broadband improvements. He estimates 35% of rural America lacks quality internet access. The president wants acceptable internet speeds in 100% of the country by 2030. The improvements are part of the president's American Jobs Plan to fix infrastructure, including roads and bridges. To pay for it all, he wants to raise corporate taxes from 21 to 28%. While Democrats and Republicans both want rural America connected virtually, the debate over paying for it is where the controversy emerges.
I would often see him and his mom here at the parking lot.
Dr. Christina Ramsey, Ruben's principal, says this is about fairness. It's tough for her school to keep winning awards when you can't live stream a lesson.
Because of our broadband, that's just not always availability. That's just not an option for us. I think the biggest thing is giving our students the opportunity to be able to have access and have it fair and equal across the board.
As negotiations continue in Congress, Ruben says he'll just continue to learn the best he can with this message for Washington.
It just makes life a lot easier if I could do it while I'm at the house.
In Fulton County, Pennsylvania, I'm Joe St. George.